Yo, good evening. Happy National Ice Cream Day, USA, International Canada, Long Island, aka Strong Island, the tri state areas of New Jersey, Connecticut, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. This is your man and homie, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator. Rhymes when now or later, like the candy. Your host with the most misunderstood, lonely nomad, unstoppable, independent podcaster, creator, YouTuber, Queens, New York native, who's also a New York Giants, New York Knicks, and New York Mets fan from the neck of the woods of Lawton, Queens, New York. And you are now rocking with me by tuning in, listening, and watching the 126th episode of the Sports Edition show. Excellent, fun, vibrant talks podcast. And man, oh man, I got some topics for you folks at home, man, including LeBron James leaving the Lakers and what happens to Bronny James. I will touch on that, and alongside with some Mets news and of course the schedule for the New York Giants. I will touch on that on the sports rundown alongside with what's going on with the minor leaguers down on the farm. So that's going to be part of the sports rundown. All right. So I hope y'all enjoying your weekend. I hope y'all enjoying the celebration of National Ice Cream Day. I hope you got your ice creams, your frozen yogurts and stuff. If you haven't, it's never too late. All right. And if you don't know what that is, um, I suggest you go research it and see what that's about. All right. All right. And don't forget to subscribe to the sports YouTube channel page of Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast and leave a like and a comment down below. Tell me how you feel about the sports topics. Tell me how you feel about LeBron James and as far as where he's going to play next as his final time in the NBA. And of course, and along with other things. So there you go, right there. Now we're gonna start off with the quick side bleacher bar. Let's do this. Let's kick it off with LeBron James. Um, excuse me. For those of you who may not know, he left the Lakers to go on to a different team. So now he's like a free agent right now. And as far as which team he's going to play, I think you're gonna have to let this shit play out though. You gotta let it play out though. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so according to CBSSports.com, um, yeah, this happened recently. LeBron James will not be returning to the Los Angeles Lakers. His agent Rich Paul told ESPN on Tuesday. James will be a free agent at 6 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday and has told the Lakers he intends to sign elsewhere after spending the last 8 seasons in LA. James led the Lakers to the 2020 NBA title in the league's Orlando bubble and became the NBA's all-time leading scorer while wearing a Lakers uniform in 2023. Paul also confirmed to ESPN that James will return to play in 2026 and 2027 for an NBA record 24th season in the league. The Warriors, who have been linked to James for the last few days, appear to be the frontrunners for the 41-year-old services in the 2026 to 27 season. The Warriors are reportedly trying to land James in free agency and Anthony Davis in a trade and unite the title winning teammates with Stephen Curry and Draymond Green in Golden State. Chris Haynes also reports that the Cavaliers are interested in bringing James back for a third stint in Cleveland. LeBron James is one of the greatest athletes in history, Lakers president Jeanie Buss said in a statement, end quote. We will always be thankful for his 8 years with the Lakers, including the title he led us to in 2020 under the toughest imaginable circumstances and the countless records he broke in purple and gold. We wish him all the best in the future, both on the court and off. He will always be a cherished part of the Lakers family. James responded to the Lakers statement saying it was truly an honor to play for the franchise. And he said in quote, no thank you. Truly an honor to wear the purple and yellow while trying to continuing the greatness and legacies that came before me. Hope I made a few proud during my stint. James, who led the Lakers to the 2020 NBA title, was technically an unrestricted free agent in 2024, but this is the first offseason that he will change teams since he joined the Lakers in 2018. When James picked up his player option last offseason, he released a statement that indicated he was not fully satisfied with how the Lakers were operating. LeBron wants to compete for a championship, his agent, Rich Paul, told ESPN at the time. He knows the Lakers are building for the future. He understands that, but he values a realistic chance of winning it all. We are very appreciative of the partnership that we've had for 8 years with Jeanie Buss and Rob Pelinka and consider the Lakers as a critical part of his career. Last time he was with the Cavaliers, it was for 11 seasons between 2003 to 2010, and then 2014 to 2018. 849 games played, 23,119 points, one NBA title, two MVPs. Miami Heat, 4 seasons, 2010 to 2014, 294, 7,919 points, two NBA titles, and along with two MVPs. Now, the Lakers from 2018 to 2026, 439, 12,402 points, one NBA title, and he didn't get an MVP. Lakers acquired Luka Doncic at the 2025 trade deadline, a stunning blockbuster that forced them to reconsider the timeline that they prioritized in building their roster. Doncic and Austin Reeves were suddenly the priorities, pushing James down the organizational pecking order. When he returned from a bout with sciatica early in the season, he was for the first time in his career the number 3 option for his team offensively. Yet James made the most of it. He settled in and thrived in his new role. And the Lakers ultimately went 15-2 in March with the James Doncic Reeves trio on a heater. Any championship hopes the Lakers might have harbored were ultimately dashed when Doncic and Reeves suffered a pair of late season injuries that kept the former out for the whole postseason, and the latter out for part of it. James still led the Lakers to a first round upset over the Houston Rockets, but they were swept in the second round by Oklahoma City Thunder. James now becomes an unusual free agent. He is coming off a nearly max contract, nearly max contract, however you call it, and he is arguably the greatest player in NBA history. He isn't nearly that valuable anymore, but he remains a very high level player capable of leading a team through a first round series and probably supporting a better one deeper into the playoffs. Someone of his stature would surely expect a pretty hefty salary, but cap space is minimal on this market. All right, so what happens to? Hang on a second. Actually, hold on a second. But wait. Now this is now now. Let me see. So LeBron James gave the Knicks their flowers on Thursday and pinpointed the changes that helped them win the NBA Finals. James said that last year the Knicks ran a lot of Jalen Brunson centric offense, but an adjustment by first year coach Mike Brown changed everything. Um, I think they diversified their offensive portfolio. It was a lot of Jalen Brunson picks and rolls last year, and it allowed the defense to kind of key in on him. James began during a live recording of his Mind the Game podcast at Fanatics Fest. I think what Mike Brown brought in was the little pinch post to get the ball to Karl Anthony Towns. Um, Karl Anthony Towns in the pinch post era, or at least, excuse me, or at the top of the key, and let him be in the hub. And yes, at the end of the day, it would still get to Jalen Brunson, but it didn't allow you to just sit on one action. Give me 1 second, folks. Okay, that change came after the Knicks fell into a two-hole in their opening round series against the Hawks. The Knicks went on to win the final three against Atlanta, sweep the 76ers and the Cavaliers to reach the NBA Finals before slaying the Spurs in 5 games to win the franchise's first championship since 1973. Brunson was surely the Knicks' best player last season, leading the team through a long regular season in which they mostly stayed healthy, unlike in years past. We know the glue guys like Jose Alvarado, Josh Hart, and Mikael Bridges, but obviously the unsung hero of the whole finals run was OG Anunoby. James said. Anunoby had the NBA Finals changing play when he tipped home the game winner in the finals seconds of game 4 after the Knicks rallied from 29 points down. The Knicks put together an incredible run to the NBA Finals, and James points out that they had the best point differential in NBA playoff history at 14.9 points per game. Yeah. And James is still trying to figure out which team he is going to play for during the upcoming season as he hopes to compete for a title in his age 42 season. Wow. Sorry about that. I had something in my throat. Um, his agent Rich Paul had previously said that if the Knicks hadn't won the title, James wouldn't be looking at a board of teams to play for. He'd be going to the Knicks, Paul said on his Game Over podcast earlier this month. With the Knicks appearing uninterested in a James Knicks reunion, a James Knicks union, the team has done a good job of bringing the band back together, having lost only backup center Mitchell Robinson to the rival Celtics thus far in free agency. Now, here is what's going on here with here's what's going on here with not only LeBron James, but what happens to Bronny James's future. So LeBron James made it clear he wanted to play in the NBA with his son. The Lakers made that happen by drafting Bronny James. Now that LeBron is leaving Los Angeles, Bronny's future with the Lakers is suddenly much less clear. With LeBron informing the Lakers that he will play elsewhere during the 2026 to 27 season, attention quickly shifted to what the decision means for his son. Bronny is entering his third NBA season and remains under contract with Los Angeles after the remainder of his salary for next season became fully guaranteed. That detail matters. Bronny is set to make more than $2.2 million next season on the 4-year deal he signed after the Lakers selected him with the number 55 pick in the 2024 NBA draft. There's more. While his future has always been viewed through the lens of playing alongside his father, the Lakers are not required to move him just because LeBron is leaving. In fact, keeping him may be the simpler option. Bronny has made gradual progress since entering the league. After spending much of his rookie season developing with the South Bay Lakers, he appeared in 42 games during the 2025 to 26 season and earned limited playoff minutes against the Rockets and Thunder. His numbers remained modest, but his three-point shooting improved, and he has shown signs of becoming a useful defensive guard off the bench. For a Lakers team now moving forward around Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, cheap backcourt depth still offers plenty of value. Bronny is not expensive, is still only 21 and has a team option for the 2027 to 28 season. The more complicated scenario would involve Bronny joining LeBron's next team. Golden State has been heavily linked to LeBron, especially after Draymond Green declined his player option to help create flexibility. If the Warriors also make a push for Anthony Davis, they would likely need inexpensive contracts around a top-heavy roster built around Stephen Curry, LeBron, Davis, and Green. In that case, Bronny's low salary could make theoretical sense. But the Lakers would have to cooperate in a trade, and they are no longer in the business of keeping James content. For now, the most likely outcome is that Bronny stays in Los Angeles and continues trying to carve out his own NBA role. LeBron's Lakers chapter is over. Bronny's may not be. So there you go. There's your answer right there. Bronny is staying with the Los Angeles Lakers. He's not going anywhere just because LeBron James chose to leave. Chose to leave the Lakers. So he's not going anywhere. All right. Let's go to. Hang on. I know I had it. Let me find it. I know I had it. Just a sec. There's that one story. Okay, I do want to touch base on the recent injury that Jalen Brunson had suffered. I want to touch base on that. So let's get into that right here. Let's get into it right here. So, New York Knicks superstar and NBA Finals MVP Jalen Brunson is not sure exactly when he suffered a left wrist injury that required surgery earlier this month, but it will likely sideline him for at least the next 2 months. There isn't a play where I remember it happening, Brunson told ESPN Radio's Don Hahn and Rosenberg show. I just remember being at the free throw line in the third or fourth quarter of Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals, and my wrist is starting to feel weak. From that point on, it was trying to figure out what was going on and how to proceed because I wasn't going to get anything done during that time. On that night, he scored 19 points in 40 minutes as the Knicks won 109-93. Playing through an injury on his shooting side only adds to the lore of Brunson on his path to becoming a Knicks legend. The point guard and team captain led the Knicks to a sweep in the Eastern Conference Finals series against the Cleveland Cavaliers, then extended the team's remarkable 13-game postseason win streak by taking the first 2 games of the NBA Finals in San Antonio. Brunson put the final strokes of his masterpiece in Game 5 when he dropped a franchise record 45 points to clinch the Knicks' first championship in 53 years. And he said, in quote, "It's been a roller coaster, honestly. Once we won and everything was up high. Everything after we won was amazing. And then getting back to real life, it was probably best to get surgery done for my wrist. That brought me back down, but I would do it all again." And I hope he feels better. You know what I mean? I really hope he really feels better from his wrist injury. And of course, him and Josh Hart have the Roommate Show podcast. Make sure you go check out their episodes. And one of the episodes, they was at Fanatics Fest. So go to their YouTube channel, subscribe to the channel. All right. Okay, next we have Andre Drummond. We have Andre Drummond. All right, this is from Sports Illustrated. This is from Sports Illustrated. For those of you who probably may or may not know, um, the information is from the information that I was talking about with LeBron James is from the New York Post and CBS Sports. And I'll get to the reason why it makes sense for Andre Drummond to do that next. Okay. Let's see. So let me see. So all right, according to Sports Illustrated, the Knicks shouldn't be looking at Andre Drummond as a Mitchell Robinson replacement. Robinson, even with his historic free throw woes, is a significantly better player. The free agency market is proof that a lot of teams believe the same thing. What New York can do, though, is learn from its many years with Robinson to help cover up some of Drummond's weakness while maximizing his strengths. How Knicks can get the most out of Andre Drummond. So let's get to the tactical lineups of defense. Drummond's defense is a problem. His lack of lateral mobility is something that will be hard to coach or scheme around against great offensive teams. And he's not as much of a physical presence in the paint, where Robinson thrived on banging bodies with the likes of Joel Embiid and other top centers. But playing Drummond next to a combination of Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Deuce McBride, and or Landry Shamet should help on that side of the ball. New York certainly has the depth to mix and match units at times, especially when there's a particularly troublesome matchup where Drummond's deficiencies need to be covered up. Changing his rebounding habits, one thing both Drummond and Robinson have is their elite offensive rebounding ability, but they greatly differ in what they do with said rebound. Robinson went up for a put back, a field goal within 3 seconds of securing an offensive rebound, on with a 44.4% frequency and average 1.01 points per possession. Drummond, on the other hand, went up for a putback on just 34.5% of his offensive rebounds for a measly 0.85 points per possession. Those are pretty low numbers for a player who lives close to the rim, but this could be turned into a positive. Much like the Knicks ended up doing with Robinson, they could focus on coaching Drummond to convert his putback attempts into kickouts. Robinson proved that you don't need to be the most skilled passer to find teammates off of offensive rebounds. Instilling that as a priority and further lowering Drummond's putback frequency could help offset some of his finishing weakness around the rim. Limit Drummond's touches. Oh, wow. Limit Drummond's touches. Something that the 76ers did was allow Drummond to hold on to the ball for more than he should have. Last season, he took 3 or more dribbles of 4.5% of his plays. That's not a huge amount, but it's a lot more than the 0.5% frequency that Robinson did. Drummond also shot just 17 out of 47 on field goal attempts, where he had 2 to 6 seconds of 6 time. Completely eliminating those kinds of possessions will matter against good teams. And it isn't just because of the individual shot attempts. Hold on 1 second. All right. All right. Yeah, completely eliminating those kinds of possessions will matter against good teams. And it isn't just because of the individual shot attempts. Whether it's Drummond, Robinson, or any other non-skilled big, asking them to hold the ball or dribble for an extended portion is foolish. With every second, the likelihood that the possession inevitably, sorry, in, inevitably ends in a bad shot or even worse, a turnover goes up. And every possession that ends poorly in opportunity taken away from the extremely talented core that is the Knicks' offense. This postseason showed New York just how important every single possession can be in high leverage moments, and wasting them on plays where Drummond holds the ball will come back to haunt them in close games. A lot of Drummond's limitations on offense could be boiled down to him sometimes doing more than he should. In the past, the big man has at times struggled to stay within his game. With Jalen Brunson and Jose Alvarado running the offense, plus Mike Brown and his coaching staff coming fresh off of a dominant championship run, the hope is that they can simplify things for him. Keep Drummond's job easy, set hard screens, and finish easy plays. If the shot isn't immediately there, kick it out. And if he grabs an offensive rebound and it doesn't have a quick and easy putback attempt, find an open teammate. He'll never replicate Robinson's defensive impact, but if the Knicks can learn from other teams' past mistakes and keep him disciplined, he should be serviceable until at least the trade deadline where they could go after another premium name. And here's the reason why. Here's the reason why the Knicks signed Andre Drummond to a 1-year deal. So, according to Sporting News, the New York Knicks knew that they would be losing Mitchell Robinson after the 2026 NBA Finals. After he signed with the Boston Celtics, the Knicks had to pivot to find new backup bigs to Karl Anthony Towns. They have found one in Andre Drummond, who has been the backup to Joel Embiid for the past few seasons. Now he will be a crucial cog for a team that will be looking to repeat as champions in the 2026 to 27 season. The Knicks' biggest reason for signing Andre Drummond. For a long time, Drummond has been one of the most productive big men in the league, even if he has been a backup for the past few years. He has stepped up every time his name has been called upon to contribute. Considering he has been playing for the Philadelphia 76ers, he has had to step in for Embiid many times. While Towns is not as unreliable as Embiid, he does need a good backup, as shown in the 2025 to 26 championship run. With Drummond, they are getting one of the most tenacious rebounders in NBA history. He has all the tools to replicate what Robinson did in New York, and it is a good idea to have a motivated Drummond on the roster. Knicks targeted Andre Drummond due to his veteran experience in the league, strong rebounding ability, and his playoff experience per source familiar with the matter. Club will lean on former Mount Vernon star, to back up Karl Anthony Towns. SNY's Ian Begley reported about the Drummond signing. The Knicks are still $6.2 million under the second apron, so they still have some room to operate. They have plans on bringing back Jordan Clarkson, while they also want to bring in one more player to serve as front court depth. So there you go. There you go. And he's not a replacement of Mitchell Robinson. So just to let you know, that's not even the case. So here we go. Let's go on to the next basketball news pertaining. All right. So pertaining to Jeremy Sokin. Okay, so the Knicks have spent much of free agency re-signing many of their own contributors. However, one notable piece from the NBA Finals team still on the market is Jeremy Sochan. Sochan. Yeah, with only one remaining roster spot, rather, and a huge need at center. Some may have written off a Sochan return by now, but there's reason to believe Sochan could actually help New York out with its front court, at least in the short term. Jeremy Sochan could help fill in at center for Knicks while they work on bigger move. One major asset Sochan brings to the table is his positional flexibility. As an agile player who also stands 6'8" and 230 pounds, he has the length, physicality, and speed to guard positions 1 through 5. While Sochan has made his home mostly at power forward up to this point in his career, he's also spent a legitimate chunk of time as a small ball center. In 2024 to 25, he logged 41 points of his minutes at the 5 spot per Basketball Reference, and his past year he was at 39% between the Spurs and Knicks. Though the split in New York was 67 to 33 in favor of power forward, he still was there at he was still a third of the time. So it's something the team is willing to embrace. Head coach Mike Brown did just that on the biggest stage, as he has Sochan check in for both Mitchell Robinson and Ariel Hukporti during Game 4 of the NBA of the Finals with Karl Anthony Towns in foul trouble. The departure of Robinson and Hukporti are what gives Sochan his best path to a return. While Andre Drummond is now in the fold, there will be times when Brown wants a different flavor at center or needs someone else to eat up minutes there. Sochan is more than capable as someone who's experienced there and notched 149 career starts. Though it would be a bold experiment to treat Sochan as a true center. That's the kind of luxury signing that someone so established like Drummond affords. That strong veteran presence, including Cat as a starter, means New York could go the more developmental route for its third string needs. Notably, Sochan is only 23 years old, despite having 4 seasons already under his belt. That means there's still potential to tap here, even after he averaged 11.4 points per game and 6.1 RPG. over his first 3 campaigns. Another benefit of Sochan is the fact that he doesn't have to be the permanent number 3 center solution. Given his, given he's still unsigned, that's an indication his interest isn't booming. This sets up the Knicks to get him on a veteran minimum contract, and perhaps without the full deal even guaranteed. This would allow New York to at least address the front court in some way for now, while still leaving trade and buyout signing routes fully open. The Knicks have already been active on the center trade market, but are being turned away, likely because other teams don't want to help the newly crowned champs. Somebody's jealous. Once it's months into the season, teams may no longer feel their current untouchables are worth holding on to, and they'll likely be more open to dealing with New York out of the immediate shadow of its finals triumph. So popular targets like Musa debate or Yves Missy may just require some patience. In the meantime, Sochan would provide some front court help at dirt cheap cost and ensure the Knicks aren't empty handed. He might not be the top choice for most, but his familiarity with the roster and acceptance of an inconsistent role do make it easier for the team to bring him over someone completely new. The Knicks clearly liked his skill set enough to make him a priority target this past February. And his call on short notice in the NBA Finals was another position reflection of the young Swiss Army knife. The longer New York goes without another front court addition, the more it could suggest Sochan coming back and helping buy the team some time on the center trade front. Okay. Okay. All right. Now let's get into some Mets stuff, man. Shall we? All right. All right. I've discussed this whole Francisco Lindor trade and why I actually agree with Ryan Finkelstein from Locked On Mets to say that it doesn't make any damn fucking sense. All right. So this was posted weeks ago on amny.com. So let's take a look. The Mets are ramping up to sell at Major League Baseball's August 3rd trade deadline. And while almost everything and everyone is available, the curious case of Francisco Lindor has been a significant uncertainty regarding how David Stearns moves forward. SNY's Chelsea James reported earlier this week that only Juan Soto, Carson Bench, AJ Ewing, Nolan McLean, and Christian Scott are off limits, suggesting that Lindor is indeed up for grabs. By the way, man, he did hit a home run earlier today in when they played against the Phillies earlier today. And he also had not one but two doubles. Not one but two doubles and 2 walks. If there is one thing that Stearns has taught the baseball world over the last year, it is that sentimentality and standing will get a player nowhere, as evidenced by his shrewd dealings with Pete Alonso and Brandon Nimmo, while his candidates to replace both longtime fixtures bombed. Lindor dealt with a nightmare first half, playing just 40 games due to a calf injury. He's batting 210 with a 654 OPS and suspect defense, which only ramped up trade chatter while the Mets' season spiraled into the abyss. Couple that with the fact that he is owed $160 million over the next 5 years, holds the power to veto any trade, and has a reported desire to stay in Queens. And there is a reason why multiple reports in recent days have tabbed a potential deal as very unlikely. Whether a faction of Mets fans like it or not, Lindor should still be a significant part of the club's future plans, even if a decline has arrived. The 32-year-old has been a top 10 finisher in the NL MVP voting in each of the last 4 seasons, and it is more likely that this start, fueled by that injury, was just an anomaly than the norm for the foreseeable future. Shortstops of his caliber are not a dime a dozen, and dealing him would indicate a complete rebuild rather than the retooling Stearns hopes to pull off, which would ensure they can compete in 2027 if there is baseball in 2027 due to the stupid ass lockout. And I would like to say, in terms of Francisco Lindor, man, every there are some Mets fans who appreciate him and his contributions, and I am going to say that he's not washed. Okay, he's not washed. Regardless of him turning 33 this year, he's not a washed up player compared to Marcus Simeon, compared to let's say the other players that they had to get rid of, like Tommy Pham. They had to get rid of other players. Even Jorge Polanco, 32, washed up player. And yeah, it's just yeah. So you know, as a result, I'm actually um glad that Francisco Lindor was able to actually figure things out in today's game that I saw today with the Phillies. The Mets take 2 out of 3 against the Phillies, 6-1. All right. So that's pretty good. That's pretty decent. I want to make some noise for the Mets, man. They really put in the effort in yesterday's game. They put in the effort in Thursday's game and today's game. So let's do this. All right. Let's get into some updates of Clay Holmes. Hang on 1 second. Let me make sure I get everything. Make sure I get everything with the topics. Okay. All right. I just need to make sure I didn't leave any topics out. All righty then. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, and by the way, a little side note here. The Mets are 42-58. All right. Just for the record. They're gonna be in Milwaukee tomorrow. They're gonna be in Milwaukee tomorrow. I'm gonna actually do the rundown of who's gonna be playing, and all that great stuff right there. So I'm gonna go over it on my tablet and all that stuff. So there you go. All right. All right. Um, let's see. So let's see. Let's see. Yes, Clay Holmes. And this is according to the folks from clutchpoints.com. Let's get into this. The New York Mets are a better team in the 2026 MLB season with Clay Holmes. The problem is Holmes has been sidelined by an injury for some time now, preventing him from helping the club turn things around amid yet another disappointing campaign. Yeah, it's because of Spencer Jones from the Yankees. With the Mets struggling to win games in bunches heading into the conclusion of the first half of the season and into the 2026 MLB trade deadline, Holmes has become a name often mentioned as a possible New York asset should the team decide to be sellers. That being said, let's see. The 33-year-old Holmes seems to be loving his stay with the Mets. So as he expressed his willingness to ink an extension with the team. And he said, in quote, actually, this is what he said. Definitely open, Holmes said on Thursday per Will Salmon and Tim Britton of The Athletic. I know things are not the easiest right now and hard, but it's not like I'm sitting here hoping to run away from it. If I can be part of the solution to make things better here, I would like that. I came here for a reason. You almost have the sense of some type of unfinished business. You want to make things right and do things well here because when you do win here, it's very exciting. I've seen that. It's something that I hope to be a part of. I don't know what that looks like, but that desire is still there. Holmes is on an expiring contract that pays him $12 million this season. He was putting together a solid season toward free agency before going down with a fractured right fibula injury during an appearance against his former team, the New York Yankees, by Spencer Jones in May. In 9 starts with the Mets, he's gone 4 for 4 with a 2.39 ERA and 174 ERA plus. Hmm. Yeah, this is interesting right here, man. I want to actually. This is interesting. This is interesting. This is interesting. Um, this is interesting. Okay. Well, entering the All Star break with a 40-57, actually 57. Actually they're 42 now, 42 and 58. The New York Mets will be selling when the MLB trade deadline rolls around. 4 pitchers have emerged as prime candidates to be dealt. Let's see. So, president of baseball operations, Moneyball Stearns, will be looking to build a brighter future coming out of the deadline. I don't know if everybody, including some of the Mets fans, have confidence in this idiot alongside with the nerd boat analytics department. The fact Freddie Peralta, Clay Holmes, AJ Minter, and Brooks Raley are all impending free agents makes it more likely they are traded rather than a part of the future via Ken Rosenthal of the Athletic. Oh boy. The Mets will be busy fielding interest on multiple other players, notably their pitchers on expiring contracts, lefty relievers AJ Minter and Brooks Raley, righty starter Freddie Peralta, and if he is not signed to an extension, righty starter Clay Holmes. Um, Rosenthal wrote. Oh boy! Wow! 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 Are you kidding me? You got to be fucking kidding me, right? You got to be fucking kidding me. You got to be kidding me. Oh boy. Okay. Let me see. Let me see where I left off here. This is some crazy ass shit. So Holmes technically has a player option for the 2027 season. Perhaps the Mets decide to extend him or make a renewed effort to keep Peralta long term. However, with all four pitchers features in New York murky at best, and with the Mets struggling so much in 2026, Stearns will be listening with open ears if or when opposing teams call. Peralta has pitched to a 4.66 ERA over his 20 starts in 2026, but he has already struck out 104 batters and carries a career 3.69 ERA. Holmes is currently on the injured list with a fractured fibula. In his 9 starts prior to the injury, the right-hander held a 2.39 ERA and a 45 slash 18 strikeouts, 45 what is it, 45, yeah, 45, 18 strikeouts and walk ratio. uh Minter has a 1.42 ERA and a 17 slash 1 strikeout um um walk ratio over his 19 appearances. Rarely is sporting a 2.02 ERA and a 37-14 strikeout walk ratio through his 40 appearances. Both would be strong additions to any bullpen across the league. The Mets will have plenty of decisions to make at the All-Star break, but if they get a strong offer on any of these four pitchers, it's now become more likely than not that they are dealt. Okay. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me with this Luke Weaver shit? The Philadelphia Phillies are currently in a position to make it to the playoffs. Still, the Phillies recently lost reliever Brad Keller for the year. Meanwhile, the New York Mets are well outside of the playoff picture and could be selling at the MLB trade deadline. The Mets have a bullpen arm that would be interesting for the Phillies, but there could be a snag in making the deal, according to Bob Nightingale of USA Today. You know, I don't really believe everything that Bob Nightingale says, but I don't think he's trustworthy, to be honest with you. So, so the thing is, I would rather hear it from people like Will Salmon and Joe Sherman. The Phillies, who already were seeking a right-handed hitting outfielder, now are in desperate need of a setup man. With veteran Brad Keller out for the year with a torn UCL in his right elbow, they would love to acquire Mets reliever Luke Weaver, but the price tag may be high. Nightingale wrote. Keller has been great for the Phillies this year. In 32 appearances, he is 2-1 with a 4.02 ERA. Further, Further, he has 3 saves and 13 holds for the team. Still, with the torn UCL, Keller is likely done for the year and could miss time in 2027 as well if surgery is needed. Meanwhile, Weaver has made 38 appearances this year, going 2-1 with a 2.03 ERA. He also has 1 save and 13 holds this year. He has been a reliable setup man for the past few seasons. He was solid for the New York Yankees in the setup role in both 2024 and 2025 and continued that this year. Still, Weaver is going to be highly sought after at the MLB trade deadline, as it is possible that very few teams are selling. In the National League, only 4 teams are 4 or more games outside of a playoff spot. In the American League, there are just 3 teams that could raise the price on top quality talent and price some teams out of the market. This is crazy, man. I'm sorry, but this is the craziest shit that I ever heard. Like, really, really, like that's crazy to me though. That is crazy. Um, oh Lord, yeah, this is so fucking crazy. Like, why in the hell? I just saw this. Hold on a sec. Hold on. Why the hell? So Bo Bichette breaks his silence on the trade rumors. Okay, so as rumors surround the New York Mets ahead of the trade deadline, many players are being speculated that could be on the trade block, like Francisco Lindor, which is not going to happen, Bo Bichette, and others. While Bichette specifically has been in rumors for the Mets, the star himself would speak about the talks. Bichette started poorly to start his first season in New York, though he has since come around as before before Saturday. He had a 844 OPS over his previous 36 games and has a 253, 297, 372 slash line overall. Despite the rumors, Bichette's 3-year, $126 million contract with the Mets does have no trade clause, as he was asked if he would use it. That hasn't been brought to my attention right now, so I don't have an answer, Bichette said, according to the New York Post. Another part of the contract is that he can opt out after this season, though he would say that type of decision isn't happening anytime soon. I signed here because I believed in the talent here, and it's exciting to play for an organization that was trying to win. Bichette said, "The reason I signed the contract was to have freedom for my own career, so I guess it would be too early to tell." Bo Bichette speaks more about the Mets, recording 10 home runs and 51 RBIs on the season thus far for the Mets. Bichette is considered by some to be a long shot to be traded, especially with the variables in his contract. Asked about opting out once more, one reporter inquired if the direction of the team would factor in his decision. I think there's a lot of positive, he said in quote, I think there's a lot of positive things here, and also some things that haven't gone right, Bichette said. Obviously, that is something everybody can see, but everything will be taken into account. Some of the positives Bichette would mention about New York are the young players that give the team a good outlook for the future, along with the ball club's determination to win. At any rate, it remains to be seen what the Mets will do with Bichette ahead of the August 3rd deadline. You know what though, man? Listen, I'm gonna say this. Though. I'm gonna say this right here, though, man. And Ryan Finkelstein, shouts to him for actually pointing out that the reason why you would actually keep Bo Bichette, though. The man has a batting average over 300 right now. His batting average is over 300 right now, especially with the home runs and the doubles, the singles and stuff that he does. He does what he can. He does what he can to actually help this team win games. So just to let you know that some of these rumors, some of these rumors will some of these rumors are just speculation. And of course it is debunked. So I'm gonna debunk these. I'm gonna debunk these stories right now. All right, let me see if there's anything else to talk about here. Let's see if there's anything else to talk about here. All right, all right. We're going to talk about what's going on down on the farm, and we're going to talk about the schedule of the New York Giants, and alongside with the NFL championships, and alongside with the Mets schedule, since they're going to Milwaukee and all other stuff. So we're gonna start off with Mitch Voigt in this segment right here of the sports rundown. All right. So let's get into this right here, right now. Hang on 1 second. Hold on. There we go. All right, let's take a look at how Mitch Voigt is doing so far. All right. Yeah, so down on the farm, let's take a look here. Let's take a look. And basketball has triple doubles. You could call what Mitch Voigt did Friday night a double triple. The 21-year-old shortstop connected for 3 hits and stole 3 bases in high A Brooklyn's 4-0 victory over Hudson Valley. Voigt is slashing 248, 358, 414 with 11 homers and leads the team in stolen bases with 34, which is tied for second in the South Atlantic League. The 2025 first round pick out of Michigan stole 20 bases in 22 games at St. Lucie last year. In other Brooklyn news, Clay Holmes will get the start Saturday in his first game action since his right fibula was fractured by a comebacker against the Yankees on May 15th by Spencer Jones. Scouts will reportedly be in attendance. Mesmerize Online's Jack Markowski has more on Holmes' return here. Okay, let's take a look here, actually. So, amidst both trade and extension rumors, Clay Holmes is taking another massive step towards a return from a fractured right fibula that he suffered on a line drive off the bat of New York Yankees outfielder Spencer Jones on May 15th. The High A Brooklyn Cyclones announced that Holmes is set to begin his rehab assignment with a start on Saturday night against Hudson Valley at Maymonades Park. The right-hander threw 40 pitches in live batting practice on July 10th and also completed a live bullpen session on Tuesday, per The Athletic's Will Salmon, who added that several clubs are expected to scout his upcoming outing for the Cyclones 2.5 weeks out from the August 3rd trade deadline. Furthermore, SNY's Chelsea James reported that the Mets and Holmes are anticipated to open talks on a new deal over the coming days after he recently stated that he's open to re-upping with the team. The 33-year-old has a $12 million player option for the 2027 season. Should New York opt to hold onto Holmes at the deadline and not sign him to an extension before he declines that option, the team would have to, the team would have the right to extend the qualifying offer for right around $23 million. One of the Mets' bright spots in the early part of the year. Holmes logged a 2.39 ERA across 9 starts, totaling 52 and 2/3 innings before going down with his injury. A two-time All-Star closer with the Yankees, who transitioned to the rotation after signing a 3-year, $38 million contract with the Mets in December 2024. He finished the 2025 campaign with a 3.53 ERA over 165 2/3 innings, with an intention to compete next season and an incomplete rotation surrounding the likes of Nolan Lightning McLean and, of course, Christian Scott. Retaining a quality arm like Holmes would go a long way towards fortifying the roster moving forward. At the same time, New York could have the chance to cash in by trading Holmes in what looks like to be shaping up as a seller's market. Should his rehab assignment go swimmingly with no snags, he'd become one of the top starters available and thus bring back a potentially sizable return as one of the many arms the Mets may have the Mets shop over the next few weeks. Now listen, Clay Holmes is not going to return to the Mets anytime soon. And I previously said this, he's probably going to be back probably in the middle of August after the trade deadline. So, you know what I'm saying? So there you go. And let's see. So let's see. All right. I want to actually get a look at let's get a look at AAA. Buffalo Bisons 49 and 49. 7. Syracuse Mets lose to the Buffalo Bisons 40, and they are 46 and 47. Okay, box score: Ronnie Mauricio 2 for 5, a home run, seventh home run, 2 RBIs, 2 strikeouts, 922 OPS. Ryan Clifford 0 for 4, a walk and a strikeout, 672 OPS. Nick Morabito 0 for 4, 774 OPS. Luis Robert Jr. 1 for 3, 2 walk. Hold on. A double, and 2 walks, 544 OPS. And Christopher Morel, the signee, 2 for 4 with a home run, his third home run, 2 RBIs, 889 OPS. And of course, MJ Melendez 3 for 4 with a home with his 8th home run, 2 runs, a strikeout, 957 OPS. Robbie, perhaps drawing the attention of scouts as well, is 7 for 16 with a homer and a double in his last 4 rehab games. Melendez has hit 5 homers in his last 9. Jack Weisenberger, 6.85 ERA, 3 and 1/3, 5 errors, 7 hits, 2 walks, and a walk, 2 strikeouts, and a homer. And Jonathan Pintaro, 3.50 ERA, 1 and 1/3, 1 and 1/3, 2 walks, a hit. And of course, Nate Lavender, 3.38 ERA. And that is, he has a strikeout as well. Lavender has struck out 44 and 26 in 2/3 innings at Syracuse. Okay, here we go. And as we go on to Double A, Akron Rubber Ducks 40 and 47. Um, let's see. So 11 Binghamton Rumble Ponies 33 and 55. They didn't score no runs. So Jose Ramos 1 for 3, 7.716 OPS, a strikeout. Um, and third base Nick LaRusso 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts, 791 OPS. Chris Swearer 1 for 4 with a strikeout, 766 OPS. The Rumble Ponies offense was 2 singles and a walk. They struck out 14 times and grounded into 2 double plays. Damn, man, that sounds pretty alarming, don't you think? Yeah, that sounds pretty alarming. Let me damn, man, that's pretty alarming. Shit, man. Damn. Oh boy. All right. Okay, so RJ Gordon, 6.96 ERA, 4 1/3, six six errors, 7 hits, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts, gave up 2 home runs. He took the loss actually. Felipe De La Cruz, 2.54 ERA. Yes, two. Let me see. I gotta see something, man. Wait. I gotta see something, man. IP and yeah, IP, right? Let me just take a look at this because this is pretty important to actually look up these initials. The initials IP and yeah, IP and what else? IP, IP. Okay, what does IP in baseball stand for? Innings pitched. Okay, got it. Innings pitched. And what's the other one I was supposed to look for? What's the other one? What's the other one? I saw it. I just saw it. What is it? C. I just saw it, man. CS. Okay. Okay. What does CS in baseball stand for? So caught stealing. Okay, caught stealing. And I believe BB is walks. Based on balls. And I think it's based on balls. This is basically walks. Okay. Got that. Got it. So, all right. And all right, so we have high A Hudson Valley Renegades. Oh shit. Oh man. They are 41 and 45 with no runs. Brooklyn Cyclones defeated the Renegades 4-0. And they are 37 and 49. Box score. Mitch Voigt 3 for 4 with an RBI. Three. Wait. Hold on. SB. Let me look this up. Hold on. Hold on. SB. Stolen bases. Yes, here we go. All right, stolen bases. All right, so 3 for 4 RBI, 3 stolen bases, a run and a walk, 772 OPS. John Bay, 3 for 5. 3 for 5, 3. Hold on a sec. Okay. Okay. 3B. Oh, third baseman. Yeah. He's a third baseman. Yeah, third baseman. Yeah. Third baseman. Got it. All right. Okay, and yeah. RBI, 2 runs, a strikeout, 811 OPS. Corey Collins, 2 for 4 with an RBI, 793 OPS. Bay, 25 is 10 for 32 in his last 8 games with 3 homers, a triple, and a double. And of course, Luis Rodriguez with 0 ERA, innings pitched, and a strikeout. Noah Hall, 4.81 ERA, 6 innings pitched, a hit, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, and a win. This was Hall's third straight scoreless performance, which covers 17 and 1/3 innings. The 2023 seventh round pickout of South Carolina has struck out 20 and walked 9 during this stretch. Now we go to low A, which is the St. Lucie Mets. Okay, St. Lucie Mets and the Palm Beach Cardinals. So the Palm Beach hold on. So the Palm Beach Cardinals, they defeated. No, wait. I might be reading this. So let's see. So St. Lucie Mets, Palm Beach Cardinals. So the St. Lucie Mets is 40 and 46. Palm Beach Cardinals 45 and 42. 10 innings. Let's see. Alien Pena 2 for 4 with a home run, a strikeout, 741 OPS. Antonio Jimenez 0 for 3 with hit by a pitch. He was hit by a pitch, 764 OPS. Randy Guzman 2 for 3 with a home run, his 10th, a walk, and 853 OPS. Pena's homer was his first since May 29th. He also committed his 21st error in his 69th start at shortstop. Guzman 21 leads the team in homers. Okay. And Joe Laura, 5.54 ERA, 4 2/3 innings pitched, 2 errors, 4 hits, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, and gave up a homer. And Zach Mack, 2.22 ERA, 1 1/3 innings pitched, a hit, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. So basically, hold on. So basically, the St. Lucie Mets actually defeated the Palm Beach Cardinals. Okay, that's good. All right, and now we go to wow. Should I even go to? Okay, so rookie ball Florida Complex League. So FCL Mets, 23 and 29, 2 runs. FCL, excuse me. FCL Cardinals, 19 and 29, 3 runs. So Giovanni Rodriguez, 1 for 3 with 7 home runs, a walk, 877 OPS. Vladdy Gomez, 1 for 3 RBI, um, RBI second baseman, um, 2 strikeouts and 888 OPS. Triple eight. Rodriguez, age 30, excuse me, Rodriguez 19, age 19 of Venezuela, leads the team in homers and is the organization's number 30 prospect on MLB Pipeline. Gomez stole his team high 32nd base, which is tied for third in the FCL. Um, Gene Brito, 3.41 ERA, 4 innings pitched, 3 runs, 2 errors, 2 hits, 2 walks, a strikeout, and took the loss. Brito, age 20 of Venezuela, has struck out 29 and walked 17 in 29 innings. Damn. And now we go to the Dominican Summer League. DSL Mariners, 20-14. They got 8 runs. DSL Mets Orange, 17-18, 2 runs. Wandy Asagen, 0 for 4 with a strikeout, 875 OPS. Cesar Acosta, 2 for 4, 2 for 4, 2 for 4, 2 strikeouts, 2 doubles, I think. 810 OPS, and Clanner Ramirez, 1 for 4, 1 for 4, a strikeout, and an 837 OPS. Asagen was back in the starting lineup a day after leaving the game early with an apparent injury. The 16-year-old is 7 for 24 with 2 doubles and 3 stolen bases in 11 games. Almedo Barria, 2.17 ERA, 3 2/3 innings pitched, 5 hits and 5 strikeouts. DSL Mets, 7. DSL Colorado, 23-10, 8. John Darius Sanchez, 2 for 3 with a home run, 3 RBIs, 2 runs, 2 doubles, 2 walks, and a strikeout, and an OPS of 731. John Hand Sanchez, 1 for 4, 2 RBIs, 2 doubles, a walk, a strikeout, 994 OPS. Sanchez, the 19-year-old outfielder from Venezuela, leads Mets Blue in OPS, and his slash line is 349, 485, 509. And Sanchez is the 17-year-old shortstop from the Dominican Republic, leads the team in steals with 21 in 25 attempts. Anderson Ozuna, 1.93 ERA, 2 innings pitched, a hit, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Cesar Morales, 1.35 ERA, 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, and 3 strikeouts. All right, so let's get to. I want to get to the other thing. I want to get to the other thing in the farm too. Hold on. Let's see. What's today? 19th. Hold on. Luis Robert Jr. looks ready both to return to the Mets and to hit the trade market. MJ Melendez continues to demolish AAA, and Nick Morbido looks like someone who should be playing over Tyrone Taylor for a team looking to the future. No, we didn't. We didn't say anything about Jonathan. So the rehab 2 for 5, 2 homers, 1 home run, 2 RBIs, and 2 strikeouts. And the pinch hitter, center fielder Christian Pache, 0 for 1. DH MJ Melendez, 3 for 5, 3 runs, 2 home runs, 10 home runs so far, 4 RBIs, and a walk. Ronnie Mauricio, 1 for 5, a run, RBI, and 2 strikeouts. Nick Morabito, 1 for 2, 2 runs, RBI, 3 walks, and two, and 2 I believe is doubles, I guess. 30. Ryan Clifford 0 for 3, 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. Christopher Morel 2 for 4, 3 runs, 2 runs, a double, and four home runs, 2 RBIs, a walk, and a strikeout. Yanni Hernandez 3 for 4, a run, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, a walk, and an error. Ben Rortvet, 1 for 5, a run, an RBI, 2 strikeouts, and a double. Vidal Brujan, 1 for 4, 2 runs, an RBI, a walk, and of course, a triple. Jonathan 5.0 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 errors, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, and he gets the win. Dan Hammer 1.0 innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs, no errors, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Matt Turner 1.0 innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs, no errors, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. Dylan Ross 1.0 innings pitched, no hits, no runs, no errors, no walks, and 1 strikeout. Matt Seelinger 1.0 innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs, no errors, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Well, okay. And there you go right there. And of course, Brooklyn Cyclones, their game got rained out, so it got postponed. So there you go right there. They got postponed the service, so there you go. All right. And I want to point out something actually. So I want to point out something actually. So I want to point out the schedule for the New York Giants, actually. I want to point out the schedule for it, actually. So there you go right there. So that was down on the form. I'm about to go into the schedule of the New York Giants. So the New York Giants TV broadcast schedule 2026 to 2027. The New York Giants 2026 season features 18 regular season games with TV coverage across NBC, ESPN, CBS, Fox, and Amazon Prime Video, including 4 primetime matchups. Regular season broadcast schedule all time. So week 1, the Giants will go against the Cowboys Sunday, September 13th, 8:20 p.m. on NBC. Week 2, Giants are going to be in Los Angeles with playing against the Rams Monday, September 21st, 8:15 on ESPN and ABC. That will be Monday Night Football. Week 3, the Giants will go against the Tennessee Titans Sunday, September 27th, 1 p.m. on CBS. Week 4, the Giants will go against the Arizona Cardinals Sunday, October 4th at 1 p.m. on CBS. Week 5, Week 5, Big Blue will be going against the Washington Commanders Sunday, October 11th at 1 p.m. on Fox 5. Check your local listings. And Week 6, Big Blue will also go against New Orleans Saints Sunday, October 18th at 1 p.m. also on Fox 5. And Week 7, they go to Houston to play against the Houston Texans Sunday, October 25th at 1 p.m. on Fox 5. And Week 8 is a bye week. Week 9, Big Blue Giants go against the Philadelphia Eagles Sunday, November 8th at 1 p.m. on Fox 5. Check your local listings. Week 10, Big Blue go against the Washington Commanders Thursday, November 12th at 8:15 p.m. on Amazon Prime Video. That's Thursday Night Football. Week 11, the New York Giants go against Jacksonville Jaguars Sunday, November 22nd at 1 p.m. on CBS. Week 12, Big Blue Giants will go against the Indianapolis Colts Sunday, November 29th at 1 p.m. on Fox 5. Week 13, Big Blue will go against San Francisco 49ers Sunday, December 6th at 1 p.m. on Fox 5. Also, Week 14, the Giants will be in Seattle playing against the Seahawks Sunday, December 13th at 4:25 p.m. on Fox 5. Week 15, Big Blue Giants will go against the Cleveland Browns Sunday, December 20th at 1 p.m. on CBS. Week 16, they go to Detroit. That's Big Blue Giants. They go to Detroit to play against the Lions Monday, December 28th at 8:15 p.m. on ESPN. That's Monday Night Football. Week 17, they play against the Cowboys Sunday, January 3rd. That's at 1 p.m. on Fox 5. Week 18, they play against the Philadelphia Eagles Sunday, January 10th. To be determined. So there you go, right there, man. So there you go. So okay, all right. Flexible scheduling: Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night games may be adjusted between weeks 5 through 17. Week 18 matchups will have final broadcast times announced after week 17. Sportsbrackets.net. Streaming options includes NBC games on Peacock, CBS games on Paramount Plus, ESPN and ABC on Fubo TV, and Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime Video, and of course CBS Sports Plus 1. This schedule ensures fans can watch all Giants games live, whether at MetLife Stadium or on the road, with primetime and regional broadcast clearly indicated. Now, I want to remind y'all about the NFL Flag Championships, which is presented by Toyota starting Friday, July 24th. Live coverage starts at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2, alongside with ESPN Plus, Disney XD, YouTube, ESPN on YouTube, and of course NFL Plus and NFL Network, SC Next, and ABC. Saturday, July 25th, live coverage starts at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2, ESPN Plus, Disney XD, YouTube, NFL Plus, NFL Network, SC Next, ABC. Sunday, July 26th, live coverage starts at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Plus, ESPN Deportes, Disney Channel, Disney Plus, Disney XD, NFL Plus, and ABC. Now on to the Mets schedule. Let's on to the Mets schedule. Since they go to Milwaukee. They go to Milwaukee. Let me see. Let me check something here. Yeah, so they're gonna be playing in Milwaukee tomorrow, July 20th. And it starts at 7:40 p.m. on SNY. That's the 20th on Monday. Tuesday, July 21st, my sister's birthday. The New York Mets will go against the Brewers at 7:40 p.m. on SNY. Wednesday, July 22nd, the New York Mets versus the Brewers at there's an afternoon game at 2:10 p.m. on SNY. The Mets will be off on Thursday. Friday, they regroup to Citi Field. Friday, July 24th, they regroup at Citi Field in Flushing, Queens, New York, as they play against the Dodgers. And the game time starts at 7:10 p.m. on WPIX 11, aka Pix 11, of course. Saturday, July 25th, they go against the Dodgers again, 7:15 p.m. on Fox 5. Sunday, July 26th, Dodgers versus the New York Mets. Afternoon game is at 1:40 p.m. on SNY. I may have to make an adjustment to one of the podcast recording schedules since the game is going to be on a Saturday. So let's see. Okay, so Monday, July 27th, they're at Citi Field playing against the Braves. 7:10 p.m. on SNY. Same goes for July 28th. That's a Tuesday. 7:10 p.m. on SNY. Wednesday, afternoon game against the Braves. They go against the Braves again. 1:10 p.m. on SNY. Thursday, July 30th, Marlins versus New York Mets at 7:10 p.m. on SNY. Friday, July 31st, Marlins versus the New York Mets at 7:10 p.m. on Pix 11. All right. And Saturday, August 1st, Marlins versus the Mets, 4:10 p.m. game time on SNY. Sunday, August the 2nd, Marlins versus the New York Mets at 1:40 p.m. on SNY. And I believe Monday they got the day off. Monday, August 3rd, they got the day off. Tuesday, August 4th, New York Mets versus they go to Cleveland to play against the Guardians, 6:40 p.m. on SNY. Same for Wednesday, August 5th. New York Mets go against the Guardians at 6:40 p.m. on SNY. Thursday, August 6th, New York Mets versus the Guardians at 1:10 p.m. on SNY. And after that, Friday, August 7th, the New York Mets go against the Pirates in Pittsburgh. Game time starts at 6:40 p.m. on Pix 11. Saturday, August 8th, New York Mets versus the Pirates, 6:40 p.m. on SNY. Sunday, August 9th, the New York Mets versus the Pirates at 1:35 p.m. on SNY. And this is going to be tough too, actually, man. This is going to be tough, actually. So, all right, let's see. So August 9th, Sunday, the New York Mets go against the Pirates at 1:35 p.m. on SNY. The Braves. So they go to Atlanta to play against the Braves, 7:15 p.m. on SNY. Tuesday, August 11th, same time, 7:15 p.m. on SNY. Wednesday, August the 12th, New York Mets versus the Braves 7:15 p.m. on SNY. And guess what? The Mets play against the Nationals Friday, August 14th, 7:10 p.m. at Citi Field, Flushing, Queens, New York on Pix 11. Saturday, August 15th, the Mets go against the Nationals. 4:10 p.m. on 4:10 p.m. game time start on SNY. Sunday, August 16th, Nationals versus the New York Mets at 1:40 p.m. on SNY. Now, I want to get to who's going to be pitching tomorrow's matchup and the rest of the days. I want to actually get to that before I get up out of here. So just bear with me. Just bear with me here. Let me see. Bear with me. And let's see. Where is it? 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 No, I'm not. So wait. Okay, so tomorrow's game matchup, since they're going to be in Milwaukee, I want to actually mention this. Freddie Peralta is going to be starting against. Hang on one second. Freddie Peralta is going to be starting against Jacob Misiro. Rokowski. Hold on. Jacob Misiorowski. Damn, that name is so hard to pronounce sometimes, man. So, yes, Jacob Misiorowski is the name. Yeah, that starts at 7:40 p.m. 7:40 p.m. on 7:40 p.m. on SNY. And then Tuesday, July 21st, my sister's birthday, Zach Thornton will be starting against Brandon Sproat, who got traded along with Jet Williams from the Mets. That starts at 7:40 p.m. as well. And Wednesday, July 22nd, Christian Scott goes against Logan Henderson. And game time starts at 2:10 p.m. on SNY. And as for who's going to be starting against the Dodgers for the Dodgers and the Mets, to be determined. I will circle back on who's going to be starting that Friday's game. All right, so I got y'all with that coverage. And that was your sports rundown. So there you go. There you go right there. All right, so all right, stream choices on the go. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, folks, make sure you follow the Sports Edition Show, Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast on Facebook alongside with Bluesky Social. There's threads and alongside with Instagram. So And the same goes for my other podcast shows. The Entertainment Review Show, Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast, alongside with alongside with um, alongside with my comedy Off the Meat Rack Chains New York Avenue podcast. I am going to try my best to actually return, especially with the game schedule that's going on for the Mets. So I will do my best to actually return to that. So we'll see what happens. And if anything, if the game gets rained out, I'll try to actually do a recording as well. So stay tuned for that as well. And yes, you can follow your host with the most, G Money Stacks G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York, on Threads and on Instagram as well. And of course, like I previously said, when I get myself a new laptop that comes with Windows 11, I will do my diligence to actually upload the episodes to the streaming platforms. And of course, until I get myself a new job, of course. So we'll see what happens, though. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. And in the meantime, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel, Sports YouTube page. Leave a like and a comment alongside with the sports topics. And the question I will actually have for you today is, which team do you think LeBron James will go to next? Because he already played for the Cavaliers. He already played for the Miami Heat. And he's already played for the Los Angeles Lakers. So leave your thoughts in the comments down below on YouTube. And of course, tell me how you feel about the rumors of the trade players that I just mentioned and stuff like that. And of course, express yourself on how the trade for Francisco Lindor does not make any sense compared to Bo Bichette, compared to the other players, and of course, Clay Holmes possibly getting an extension. We don't know the timeline on when Clay Holmes is going to be returning. He's going to be returning probably after the trade deadline. So he's not going to get traded. So there you go right there, man. All right. I'm about to wrap this up right now in a bow. And that's going to do it for me. I'm your man, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, rhymes with now or later, like the candy. And I like to say thank you very much to every single one of you who tuned into episode 126 titled Trades, which is dedicated to the New York Knicks, and alongside with some trade talks with the Mets. All right. Now, if you didn't hear about the New York Giants schedule, you're more than welcome to actually listen to this episode alongside with the NFL championships and, of course, the schedule for the New York Mets and which opposing teams that they're playing for. So you're more than welcome to actually listen to that. And yes, so share the videos, share with your friends alongside with those who are into sports. Whether you are a Knicks fan, whether you are a New York Giants fan, whether you are a New York Mets fan, all that great stuff whatsoever. It really helps the channel grow, and it really means a lot to me. It would really mean a lot to me if you had the chance to tell your friends to subscribe to the channel, this sports YouTube channel right here. Excellent, fun, vibrant talks podcast. This is where I actually give my thoughts on certain sports topics whatsoever, and all that great stuff right there. And of course, stay tuned for more new sports topics in the next episode. All right. And I like to mention, I hope everybody is enjoying a happy National Ice Cream Day. All right. I hope you're enjoying your frozen treats your frozen yogurts, your frozen ice creams, ice cream on the cone, ice cream in a cup, all that great stuff right there, man. I hope you enjoy yourselves. And so yeah, there you go. So that's gonna do it, man. I'm up out of here. I'll see y'all next time in the next episode with more new sports topics whatsoever. And of course, let's go Giants, let's go Knicks, and let's go Mets. In the words of Ken Stars, have a good night, everybody.